Hey, James Stratton here. Uh, I made this channel to try and be a bit more genuine, I guess, than I am in my real life. And it'd be pretty disingenuous to not be real with, you know, the way I'm feeling, shit I go through. So instead of just probably going another week or God knows how long without putting anything out, I'll just be real with y'all. I gotta make this for myself. That's what this is. As selfish as that may sound, this channel's for me. I need this. I need this to save my life, right? And then I end up doing nothing. So, I thought about doing some more like chainsaw stuff this weekend. That didn't really happen. The weather this weekend kind of sucked, which, you know, sucks for me. Um, and yesterday was Sunday, I went out on a drive. I thought I was just gonna, drive like 30 minutes, turn around, come back home. And on that drive, I was planning to record a video, and the way I work, I kind of think of the titles of my videos before I really think about what I'm going to say. And I was just going to call it Avicii and Depression because that had been my last week, basically. I, when it comes to the lovely cocktail of chemicals up here, doesn't all fire like it should. I do have a tendency to fall into, you know, depression where I end up doing basically nothing for weeks on end, and then I feel guilty about it, which makes me feel worse, which makes me want to do less, and it's just kind of a struggle of my life. And, this isn't like, oh, give me sympathy. It's just a shitty part of my life that, and, I try not to bother really anyone in my personal life about it. With how I've been feeling lately, I loosely mentioned it to my wife once, I think. And, we've been together 2.5 years going towards 3. So, she knows by now that, I'll say, hey, I'm not feeling great, but, that doesn't mean I want to talk about it. Because it's hard to put into words the stuff that I feel. And, it's hard to explain something. It's hard to sell something when you don't understand it. Right? I don't always understand why I feel the way I feel. All I know is I haven't been feeling great. Because I think I kind of know. Because I got the chainsaw. I got really hyped up, really happy. My life is a lot of highs and lows. Right? It's a lot of highs and lows. And chainsaw, getting some hope, like, man, I am gonna build my mom a house just using trees that are already on the lot for the most part. I would still have to buy some other stuff, but I got myself really hyped up. I have a tendency to do that. I get really hyped up. I get really excited about something, and then the whole, like, the crushing reality of the world that I try to overcome, that comes back to get me. Something else that's really not helping me right now in this little bout of hopelessness that I'm feeling is the fact that, okay, a few months ago, I'm not talking about this whole story yet. A few months ago, I went through some shit, alright, that landed me in the ER and landed me in a mental hospital for 4 days. And within the past couple months, I ended up paying like $1,000 roughly $1,000. Like, we had to cough up 300 in the ER before they would, like, do anything. But including that, we paid approximately $1,000. It just came out of my money, because I got some good money for a while. We had a thing related to my work, and we had an extra workload for a while, so my money was great for like a month. But I got that paid down, and I thought after we paid roughly that grand, it was over. I thought it was over. And last week, I don't remember if I got an email or if I got it mailed to me. My memory doesn't work that great with specific things like that are actually important. I got a bill for just under $2,000. And from the hospital for my stay at the mental hospital. It was like $6,000 before my insurance. They still want $2,000 out of me. Which, that's not as bad as $6,000, but that is still $2,000 that I don't have. And then a couple days ago, this is the fun part. This is what really got me. That $2,000, it was like, I can defer that to payment plan. It won't be that big of a deal. I got a statement from my health insurance that between my ambulance ride and my brief 4-hour stay in the hospital and an ambulance ride, I owe another $1,300. $1,340, something like that. So, within the last week, I have figured out that I have an extra $3,300 in debt that I didn't exactly plan on having. And I'm not rich. I make roughly $18 an hour. My normal wage plus a little bonus we get per hour for working nights. I get roughly $18 an hour. And as it is, I still have a little spending money. Roughly like $200 a check, which sounds like a lot, but I drive a lot. That's a downfall of mine, and I buy a lot of snacks and stuff. I'm not exactly the most responsible adult, but regardless, we have no savings. We depleted that to because of car stuff. Loosely, let's just say that, because of car stuff. So I have no savings, don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of extra money between me and my wife to add on another bill. That's the thing. And sure, I can probably pay him about $100 a month. That's going to take close to 3 years to pay that off in total. Close to 3 years on top of everything else we've got. And that's just going to stretch me even thinner. And I just have to fucking hope that within those 3 years that I'm paying this shit down, I just gotta hope that nothing else happens. I gotta hope that I don't have to have more fucking teeth pulled. I gotta hope that, my stupid, shitty, fucking kyphosis hunchback doesn't give me problems. I gotta hope that, I don't chop my fucking leg with a chainsaw. I gotta hope that I don't get into a car wreck. I gotta hope that the 3 fucking hoopties we drive hold up for 3 years. I hadn't really thought about it too intensely until now. I gotta hope that everything works out perfectly for about 3 years. And during that time, my wife's probably still going to be in school. She's not going to be making money within that time. She's got a job, but it all goes to our bills. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And, I've got debt. I have debt beforehand. I owe $17,000 on a car that's worth maybe $7 with the wind blowing in the right direction, with the right filter and lighting. Maybe $7. It's a burner car. It's 2 years old. It's a 2017 Malibu. It's almost 3 years old. Whatever. Fucking thing's worthless. Depreciation's a bitch. Because we've had to use the car. It's not like Grandpa's Ferrari that sits in the garage, gets driven 2,500 miles a year. No, we've put 75,000 miles on this car in less than 3 years. It's my wife's commute car. And it might be only 3 years old, but that thing's a fucking hoopty, I tell you what. That's like a Hoovie's Garage level hoopty. Like, we have to drive it in the manual mode. We can't drive it in normal drive because did that once, and then it's got this auto stop feature, and it just stopped. And then it didn't want to restart at a stoplight in the middle of city traffic. So, I've got that. Got the Tahoe, and I've got my car. I want to make a video on my car. My car's pretty nice, you know, for what it is. But I gotta hope that those 3 cars can hold us over, because in a technical way of looking at it, I owe money on my hoopty because I had to take out some money to fix it. Of course, I ended up taking out money that I used just for personal spending because I was feeling like a high roller there for a minute and made some bad choices. Not like bad choices, but it's like I made $1,000 disappear basically into nothing, and then I was like, oh shit, where'd that go? I have a tendency to do that. That's not good. But yeah, I'm under a bit of stress. I'm trying to build my mom a house. I haven't really gone into that. I've been working on clearing out like a lot where I would try to build it. Thing is, even though I want to do a lot of it with wood that already exists, one, I need the chainsaw mill. You know, that's going to be $200, $300, $400. I don't know. All that stuff together. If I get the rail system with it too, I'm looking at least, well, looking at roughly $500 just to get that started. And there's going to be stuff that has to come out of pocket for that. And I've got to figure out exactly what I'm doing with trying to cut timbers and trying to cut my own lumber. You know, how to get the lumber to dry properly. You know, it seems like a good idea, but I haven't really looked into it deeply enough yet. So it's ending up just being a hopeless hope. I've rambled for 13 minutes, but this is just me unloading. Sorry if this is long, I just need to unload all this, and I know nobody's gonna fucking watch it, and I don't care. I gotta say what's on my mind. And, you know, I just gotta hope that and I don't know. Every time I feel like I've got some hope, every time I feel like I'm digging myself out of my debt, there's more. There's always more. Welcome to life in America. You know, if you make $300,000 a year and nothing ever goes wrong, yeah, you're doing great. If you're, you know, blue collar guy pulling in $40,000 a year with bills up to your ass and water up almost to the bottom of your nose with fucking cinder blocks tied around your ankles. I made bad choices when I was younger. Got credit, decided to use my credit like it was just cash, ended up having credit cards racked up for a long time. I still owe a fair amount on credit cards. Now, some of it was medical from my dental crap that I had to go through. I couldn't really avoid that. But I owe a lot on credit cards. Not like a crazy amount, but probably about the same as I do on my hospital bills. Plus my loan that I currently owe at least $3,000 on, if not more. And that's just my side of the debt. My wife's got her own. So, yeah, I make $18 an hour, but I'm still poor as fuck. We have literally no savings, no money for an emergency. And, yes, I could make better financial choices, and I know I need to. There are things that we could do differently. But at the end of the day, if we tried to save everything we had, every last penny that we could possibly save, what are we going to save? $300 a month? That just goes toward debt. If we got a dog that's allergic to fleas, if he gets bit by one flea, he basically starts eating himself because he's itching. So he's got to have expensive flea medication. This isn't a woe is me. This is like my life. And we're making it through. We're fine. We've been fine. We will be fine. It's just discouraging. It's discouraging as a 21-year-old guy. He's got hopes, dreams, aspirations. But everything that I want to do with my life involves a big fucking gamble and a big cash buy-in. Even if I try and build my mom this house, if I had to guess, I'm probably looking at 10 or 15 grand that would have to come out of pocket. And if I save every penny, if I have that extra $300 a month, that's 3, 12, 36, 5 years, roughly. 5 years, if nothing goes wrong. That's not accounting for my medical debt. That's not accounting for anything. If nothing goes wrong, it would take about 5 years. At that point, that would be like the house my dad tried to build us. Where, it's such a slow process that it doesn't get done. Anything happens, it's dead in the water. And then you just have giant, festering shithole, covered in mold, slowly rotting. We've tried to cut every corner you could cut to try and get it done. And at the end of the day, you're left with nothing. It's just what life feels like. At the end of the day, you're left with nothing. So, I'm trying my best to be a little bit hopeful, a little bit optimistic, but I don't know. Maybe through the power of the shithole internet, maybe it can be something. Maybe I can turn this into something. I know I probably can't. Too many creators out here, and I'm not doing really anything special. I'm not doing anything exciting. I'm just a guy talking to a camera for 20 minutes about how I'm stressed about my life. First world problems, right? And vote for Bernie.